So, fourth segment time. The second half of the second day. So, Kyle, what was our mentality behind what we did the second day? Second half.
You wanted to go home. Phil and I wanted to stay another day.
Right. And so we did stay another day. And do you regret staying another day?
No, not really.
Oh,
because
Phil,
I took off so many days.
Yeah, Phil's calling. Hold on. Hello?
Hello? I just woke up.
Well, the podcast is about finished, actually. We're in the fourth segment. So if you want to join us real quick to discuss the second half of the second day of the trip, you're more than welcome. And then maybe discuss your parts of the trip.
Oh, okay.
I would join very quickly, though, before Kyle and I finish this story, so.
Oh. So I thought we were doing it next Wednesday.
We can't do it next Wednesday. The podcast is due Friday.
Yeah, I get that now. But I was just reading when I was reading the chat, yesterday, that's what I thought. Never mind.
That was the normal video, but yeah. See you in a bit. That was the science experiment we're doing for a different video that I have yet to write the script for, but I don't have to do it till next week, so. Yeah, so we decided to not go home because it hadn't rained yet, and so we're just like, well, there wasn't much left to do in Scotts Bluff. So we're like, let's head up to Wyoming. Why? Because I've never been to Wyoming. The whole point was to go to Wyoming and Colorado. So we're like, let's go to Wyoming. And, stuff went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? So, okay. So we're driving west. And we're approaching this dark patch of clouds, and I'm like, oh, looks like a storm's coming up. And I was watching the clouds, because I know more about meteorology than the other two, and I noticed a line in the clouds, and I was like, oh, it's just a cloud line, or it's a wall cloud. And I'm like, no way it's a wall cloud. It's nothing. Well, we then, at the edge of the wall, at the edge of the cloud line was some clouds that were lower than all the other clouds, and it kind of looked like they were rotating. Kind of.
So when I saw that, I knew what we were looking at. They weren't rotating. They were just moving. There's no rotation.
Apparently it was rotation, but we'll get back to that. I thought it looked like rotation. I was pretty sure it was rotation, but whatever. Anyways. After we get past that, the skies are starting to turn green, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys know what that means?
I was reading, so I didn't care.
Well, it means hail, usually. And they're like, oh, there's no way it's going to be hail. 5 minutes later, it's downpouring, 50-mile-an-hour winds with hail. And I got a text that night from my friend who knew where we were. She was like, hey, you guys drove through the tornado. I'm like, what? Now, I can't confirm this. We still haven't figured out where this tornado was because Will looked it up. Kyle looked it up, but looked it up on the wrong end of the state. So, I don't know.
Well, that's all that popped up for that day. It was like an unreported tornado.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently there was supposedly a tornado literally right where we were. And I'm like, what? So I was right. It was rotation. We literally drove right underneath the damn thing. Straight into the storm. Into the hail and the wind. Yeah, right as we were getting into Wyoming. Oh my god, that was rough. We could have died. We could have died. Phil, hello.
Hey.
So, in the first segment, we talked about what our favorite part of the trip was. What is your favorite? What was your favorite part of the trip?
Ooh. Probably driving down Highway 2.
Oh, all right. So you like the views.
Yes. Especially the views, yeah.
What did you think of the second half of the second day? Wyoming.
I mean, it definitely is very informative to how open Wyoming is. I mean, we drove like basically down the entire state. There was nothing.
There was nothing.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
the speed limit is 70 because you can't get around if you're not going 70.
Moving
And
past.
we're getting past.
Yeah.
People just went as fast as they wanted to because there were no police. There were no laws. It was a great road. The road was in great condition. There were just no
Was
laws.
everyone else's favorite part?
No. Kyle's was just reading.
Oh, okay.
But his other than the reading, it was the jailhouse and courthouse rock. My
Yeah, that
favorite.
was cool.
My favorite. Oh, what was my favorite? What did I put my favorite on?
I don't think you said.
Oh, that's right. I saved it for this segment. I think my favorite was probably. Oh, I forgot we went to Carhenge, but yeah, whatever. My favorite part was probably Scottsville's National Monument. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was definitely really cool.
Other than the cliff.
Yeah.
With an F.
Yeah, no. For me, it was just when we drove down Highway 2. I mean, we got to see all sorts of bluffs, and,
Yeah.
rolling plains, undulating hills. I mean, that was just pretty incredible to see how unflat Nebraska really is. I mean, it's flat in the eastern part of the state. I mean, I went down there, but when you go west, the foothill, you're basically in the foothills of the mountains, and it was very cool to see that.
Yeah. No, Nebraska is only flat in the Platte Valley. It's not flat here. It's very hilly here. It's only flat in the Platte Valley, which is coincidentally where the interstate is. So everybody drives through it, and they're like, oh, Nebraska's just flat and nothing. They all say it's just corn. No, Nebraska is hilly, and there's cows. That's if you take Highway 2, which is outside of the Platte Valley, and that's all you see are cows and hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was very pretty. The sand hills.
I thought those, but the bluffs especially, those were just really cool. Just like just mounds of rock, just there.
Sand.
I guess sand, whatever. But like, it was just it's interesting, to see like a hill because I mean, I wouldn't consider them mountains, but it's just like cool to just see these mounds.
It's not really a hill. I mean, it technically is a hill, but it's a big, impressive hill.
Yeah.
We never did look up how a bluff forms. I think it's glacier activity, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was really cool. What did you think of the tornado?
The alleged tornado.
The alleged tornado. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's just like any other thunderstorm, really.
I mean, if there actually had been, if the tornado thing was true,
yeah.
How does that change how you feel about it? If those clouds that we did drive under were the ones that spawned the tornado, where they were rotating, does it change the fact that you don't feel like you were scared at all?
No. I'm sorry, I don't feel scared.
Right, because a tornado.
It was a thunderstorm. To me, it felt like a thunderstorm, but if they're actually if you're able to see it, that to me that would have been cool.
Yeah, until.
I mean, I get you as a driver, you'd be scared, but I mean, for me, it's just like, well, I guess I've never seen a tornado. It would have been cool.
Yeah, but we could have died.
Yes, but you would have died seeing something spectacular.
No. And actually, I don't think we were going to see it because I'm pretty sure it was rain wrapped, which is why it wasn't confirmed. They probably just saw the twist in the radar, and they're like, oh, it's probably a tornado. And so they're suspecting a tornado, but it was probably rain wrap, so you couldn't see it.
It's possible.
Oh my God! You couldn't see 10 feet, so there could have easily have been a tornado. Easily.
I mean, if there was a tornado within 10 feet, we would not be here today.
No. But I mean, it could have. I mean, if EF1 could have been probably,
EF? I thought it was just F.
No, that's a F1 hurricane. It's an EF tornado.
No, hurricanes are categories.
Hurricanes are categories.
Well, it's either F or EF. It's both, depending on who you ask.
Oh, I've never heard EF.
EF's technically the new way of saying it.
Oh, I've never heard that. Okay.
Yeah, an EF1 tornado. That's just. I mean, those aren't very strong, but they're strong enough to where they could have probably not thrown the car, but put debris through the windshield. But yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it wasn't any more than an EF1, maybe an EF2. I doubt it.
According to this website, it's just F0 to F5.
I mean, I guess it could have been F0 as well. Those are basically just nothing.
What did I get? Oh, this says EF.
Yeah, see, like I said, it's inconsistent. Some places say F, some places say EF. It's inconsistent. I don't get it. I don't get why.
I have to read about that.
Yeah, I don't know why some say EF, some say F. I don't think you're wrong either way to say it's F or EF, but
I've never heard it the other way.
I have, because they say it on the news from time to time on the Weather Channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, there could have been a tornado. Could have been terrifying. It was very difficult to drive because for some reason all the water sat on the roads. I don't understand why it didn't run off. And so the roads you could have easily have hydroplaned, and I don't understand why it wasn't running off. That didn't make any sense. But
oh, so something called the Fujita scale.
Yeah.
And then there's the enhanced Fujita scale.
Yeah, so the enhanced one's definitely the new one then.
That's EF.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this right. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And yeah.
That was the trip. Second day was filled with we could have died moments. The bluff. The tornado. Otherwise, the first day was pretty like we could have gotten stuck somewhere, and that was about it. The third day was just driving. And driving. And driving. I think you're pulling over and going to look where we're going to look at stars. That was kind of cool. Back in those hills.
Oh, yeah.
That was a very rough road, but
I can't wait to go out there.
Yeah.
Again.
Kyle's least
That'll be
favorite.
fun.
Kyle's least favorite part was probably the on the way to South Dakota, the bumps.
Country road.
No, that wasn't bad.
Oh.
I think it would have been the fossil.
Oh, you didn't like the fossils?
I mean, it was fine, but it doesn't
You wanted
compare
to see
to.
actual fossils.
It didn't compare to Ash Falls.
Yeah, for sure.
Ash Falls was.
Ash Falls is a lot more interesting.
Well,
to
we
look
could have
at.
gone to Ash
It was
Falls.
Ash Falls was a much more incredible fossil bed to see than one at Harrison. I think just because at Ash Falls you could see actual fossils sticking out of the ground.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we could have gone to that one.
I mean, it's possible there were fossils sticking out of the ground, where we were, but I mean, it wasn't obvious.
Well, we
Yeah.
couldn't see it because it was either rock or it was actual fossils.
It wasn't obvious to a person who doesn't know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, out in Ash Falls, you can clearly see, oh, look, there's fossil. And they actually work out there, too. and so they're always uncovered. Because I mean, when we went to Moore Hall, they said that they discover new skeletons.
All the time.
All the time, yeah, all the time.
I think actually.
And so each time you go, you'll see more and more.
What I liked about this was that we went to Moral Hall after going out west. And so, like, we were like, whoa, yeah, we saw all of this stuff except for the toadstool park. I didn't know that was a thing. We could have gone
I'm
there.
pretty sure it was behind that really beautiful bluff. That would have
Probably.
been hilarious.
It probably was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But yeah, other than the fact that we missed that, it was pretty cool. I mean, like, because, like, all those places that they, in Moral Hall they talked about, we went to. We were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
It was definitely really cool to go to Moore Hall after all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, we were there. We saw the bluffs.
Cool.
We saw the hills. They still didn't tell us how how the bluffs got there.
Yeah.
They probably don't know, to be fair. They're probably not entirely sure. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. And if you're ever in the state, take Highway 2. Take it up.
No, don't take I-80. Take Highway 2. You will not regret it.
It might be an hour slower, but you won't regret it.
It doesn't start getting in. I mean, you can take You can take I-80 to Grand Island.
Well, you have to take Grand Island to I-80 because otherwise you're going.
Oh, that's where Highway 2 starts. But when you get past like you can see all the sandhills to Alliance, but then once you start getting in the very northwestern part of the state.
Yeah.
Wait, that was we took another. Oh, there was another highway to take.
The gravel road?
No, not that one. But after you get past Highway 2, was it like Highway 71 or something, or Highway 25? There was like another highway that, juts west. When you're over there by Harrison, that was another highway to take.
Oh, yeah. But
you don't want to take. I wouldn't recommend taking Highway 2 the whole way. Because Highway 2 will take you to the border of South Dakota. But you want to take another highway that takes you to the Wyoming border. Because that was cool.
You gotta take it to...
That's when you start seeing incredible bluffs.
The problem is...
You start seeing all these, like, forests. What feels like a forest. Forested area.
You gotta take Highway 2 up to Crawford, I think. And then take...
Yeah.
And then go south... Or maybe to Alliance. But no, I would go to Crawford.
Go to Crawford.
Then go south.
Crawford, there's another highway to take.
Take Crawford south to Scotts Bluff, and then there's like every single way into Scotts Bluff is completely different. I don't think we went the same way into Scotts Bluff twice.
Yeah.
That last one we went on, that was really cool. It was super dangerous because the curves are so much tighter than.
But yeah, that would be like Crawford to Harrison or almost.
Yeah. There was, so...
Whatever that highway, Crawford to Harrison, that was really cool.
It's funny driving down these roads because they're meant for you to go 55 on, because that's when these roads were built, back when the speed limit was 55. So driving 65 down them, which is a new speed limit, you can't take the curves. Some of them you can. Some of them...
Oh, it's Highway 20.
Oh.
I think that, because I wrote it down. I'm...
Some of these curves you do not want to take at 65. People did. Even people do. I wouldn't. And I didn't. Especially...
I recommend Highway 2 and Highway 20.
There you go. Driving into Scotts Bluff from that one direction when we go over that bluff, that was... no way. I think we were actually supposed to go 60 or 70 down. 65 or 70 down that. No way. It was too tight. 55 was perfect. Plus you can roll down your window at 55. If it's nice out. And get a better experience, but 65 was no.
Yeah, and it would have been cool to take those routes, when it wasn't cloudy or rainy. Because I mean, driving out there, I was like, man, I bet this would be a cool view.
Yeah.
If only I could see it.
And then we didn't take the same pass. Somehow we took
a whole new route home.
Apparently,
It was very cool.
Yeah, we missed that bluff. I really want to know where that bluff was that we saw, but no way to know.
Yeah.
I wish we could go back to see that, but oh well. Yeah, but it was interesting because it kind of felt like we were up in the mountains with all the pine trees.
Yeah, it does.
But you couldn't see anything, so it's kind of like, oh, we're in the mountains. You have no idea of knowing.
It had a mountain vibe to it, yeah.
Nobody would. If you had told somebody you were in the mountains, they would have believed you.
Mm-hmm.
Up until the fog cleared, and you're like, oh, that's not a mountain.
These are just hills.
These are just big hills. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because we couldn't see the top of the hills, so it felt like a mountain.
Yeah.
I feel. A grassy mountain.
Yeah, very grassy mountain.
That would be like the Appalachians, right? They're grassy. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, you remember the 10th trillion, 580th billion, 386th millionth blade of grass we saw?
Oh, yeah.
That was the running joke every time we're in Wyoming. Hey, look! There's the 5th trillion, there's the 5 trillionth blade of grass.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just grass and cows. Lots of cows. Lots of moo-moos. Yeah. But if you're ever...
There's the Ogallala National Grassland. It's just grass.
Just grass. I was just like, oh, this is real interesting.
It's just grass. But they want to preserve it.
We hit a bird. I think it was a prairie chicken. They think it's something else.
There was no way it was prairie chicken.
Prairie chicken.
I think it was a prairie chicken. It about the same size.
I don't think it was.
Oh, no way to know. The bird is long gone. I don't even know when he fell off the damn truck.
He got sucked through the grill.
Oh yeah, imagine.
We were breathing in his guts about 10 seconds later.
Just, he went the wrong way. He went straight instead of going to the. If he had just sidestepped himself, if he gone to his right, he could have lived.
But his biggest mistake was flying up. He would have been fine if he stayed on the ground because I bet the tires would have missed him. But no, he decided to fly up. What? Yeah. You could have swerved too. But no, he decided to fly up. And that was game over.
Poor bird.
Yeah, he made quite the thud.
I was up in Wyoming. Poor bird. And I couldn't tell if I could see any feathers or not because there was so much dead bugs on the grill of my truck. I couldn't tell. I think I saw some blood, but that could have also been from mosquitoes or flies. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of bugs in some places. Like, well, I think somewhere before Broken Bow, about 50 miles from Broken Bow, there were a ton of bugs. And it was the same spot, too, on the way there and on the way back. You just run through, like, a ton of bugs, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, that was our trip. The vlog will be coming out next Friday, so stay tuned for that. I don't think... Make sure you go check out the new gaming channel. Next week is the last week of split videos, and the last time there will be gaming videos, strictly gaming videos, on the Dr. Sheep channel. The rest will be on Dr. Sheep Gaming. Phil and I, at some point, are going to start doing weekly, nightly podcasts about philosophy. It's just a matter of finding time. Currently, it's very difficult. Like, next Wednesday...
How many people are watching?
Huh?
How many people are watching?
What? What depends.
Isn't this a live stream right now?
No, we're just recording. This is a podcast.
Oh, okay. So when are we doing live streams?
I was just talking about that. I don't know whenever we find time. It's very difficult. Next week, though, I don't think there's going to be one. We're going to be working on that. We're going to be working on that video.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's it. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do podcasts every other Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And good night.